S. Chand presents educational video lectures as per the AICTE curriculum. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
In the part 1, we have studied about the conditional statement. We have started about the conditional statement if else, if else, if else. So in part 2, we will study about the nested if else statements and switch case statement. Hi, I'm Dr. Shrihash Atri. Welcome to S. Chand Academy. Before we go ahead, these are some good engineering books from S. Chand Publishing. So let's begin with the nested if else statements. So nested if else statement, this part. These three we have covered in our part 1. So this is in part 2 we are covering nested if and switch case statements. I will take the same example which we have done in our part 1. Like there are 10 there are 3 number. Out of the 3 number I have to find out which is the largest number or which is the greatest number. So using the earlier that program was done with the help of if else if statement. Now the same program we will do with the help of nested if statement. What is nested if? When we use the conditions, multiple conditions inside each other, that is called nested if condition. If inside the if there is another if else, then inside the if else there is another if else. So this type of conditions are called nested if else conditions. So the same program we will make with the help of nested if else conditions. So in nested if we will take the example of previous which we have taken in our this if else if statement to find out the greatest of the 3 number. The same program we will use using the nested if. Let's my condition is a equal to 5, b is 4 and c is 6. Okay, then how it works? If a is greater than b, 5 is greater than 4, condition is true, it will go inside. Again it will check 5 is greater than c, this condition is false, so it will not print this particular statement. It will go into the else part and here it will print that c is the largest. See what is the nested here? This is the if statement. Inside if we are having the if statement, if else statement. Okay, now when these two statements are false, if these two statements are executed, then it's okay. If this initial statement is false, then my control goes towards the else part and then we will check here again. If b is greater than c, if this condition is true, for example the 4 is greater than 6, that means it is false, so it will go the control will move towards the else part where it is by default written c is largest. Okay, understand this again with the different values. Or let me take a is 2, b is 4 and c is 3. a is greater than b, that means 2 is greater than 4. This condition is false, so my control directly move towards to the this else part. And here we are checking 4 is greater than c. Yes, condition is true. 4 is greater than 3, condition is true. Then it will go inside and will print this p is largest. Okay, if I say, let's suppose the condition is same but this c is 1, the value of c is 1. So again 2 is greater than 4, condition is false, so control goes moves towards the else part. And here we are again checking b is greater than c, 4 is greater than 1, yes, condition is true, so it is printing b is the largest. Okay, so in the earlier part it was skipping this condition because this condition was false, because the value of c was 6, so it was directly moved towards the else part. Now here it is printing this particular statement. So this is all about the nested if else statement. So one program, we can implement the one program in two different ways. Either we can use the if else if statement and here we can use the relational and logical operators as well, and using the nested if statements we can solve the same problem with the help of like this. Here we are using only the relational operators, we haven't used logical operators. So it is totally depend on the programmer or on the coder which type of concept it is following, which is for the programmer which is more convenient, either this way or either this way. Now we will move towards the next part of the conditional statement, that is called switch case. In switch case, what happens? Just have a practical experience at your own. In a room, we are having a switchboard, we are having a fan and light. One switch is connected to the fan and one switch is connected to the light. So if we want to on the fan, we have to on that particular switch, else we don't need to touch the other switches. Okay, the same concept we applies in the switch case statement. There are lots of cases. Which particular case we want to activate, only that case will activate and the another case will remain untouched. So in switch case we have to give the choices. This type of conditional statement works when we need to give the choices and the particular choice has to be executed. So switch, here we will write the value of that choice, which choice we want to activate. Then case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5 and so on. So choice is what? Choice number, which case number I want to activate. That is called switch case. You will understand the concept of the switch case using the program which we have done in the if else part. So we make the program to identify whether the entered character is a vowel or not using switch case. Hash include stdio.h main function. Okay, char, we have to declare a character value, char ch. Okay, printf, enter the character. I am writing in short, scanf, ampersand ch. It is character, so this should be percentage C. Okay, now here you have entered the character. Now using the switch case, we need to identify whether this entered character is vowel or not. So let's apply the switch. Switch, and in bracket we will write the variable or this variable name. Here the value will come case switch case. So there are again 5 cases, A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. So my first case is because my values are character. So my case small a. Okay. Case A. If this is true, then it will go inside printf percentage C is vowel. Okay, and then break. So this is the another keyword I am introducing here in switch case, that is break statement. This break is used to break this case. Okay, if we are inside this case and this is executed, now we don't want to go in the next case, so we have to break this particular statement. So when this break comes, my control comes out from the switch case and my program stops working. It will print, it will give you the final output. Okay, the similarly we can write the 10 different statements, 5 statements for the small for the lowercase alphabets, and the 5 statements for the uppercase alphabets. But this is not the optimum way of writing the switch case statement. Why? We can write like that. These are the various cases. This is case A, then case E, case I, case O, case U, capital A, and 5 different cases. So and after every case we have to apply the colons. Don't forget to write apply the colons, otherwise it will give you the error. Okay, all the cases of lowercase and capital and uppercase will be written, and in the last of the case, okay, after this case capital U, okay, so out of these 10, any of the case is true, then we will write finally printf, it is vowel and break. Only in a last statement we have applied a break, because we have to check each and every case one by one. If we don't want to check case one by one, and we want then we need to apply the break statement after every case. If we want to check every case one by one, then there is no need to apply the break. So what happens when you entered any character? Let's suppose you have entered chb, okay, so it will go here switch B, so it will check case B, case E, case I, case O, it will check all the cases, but all the cases are not matching with our this entered alphabet. Then what happens? Then it goes in a default, that means this case is not happen. Then again in default section it goes, in which we will print the statement printf not vowel. Okay, and then finally we will break this statement, break default, and close the curly braces. So this is the same program which we have done using the if else statements, if else if statements. Okay, in that we use the relational as well as logical operators. So we haven't used any logical operator here. So in switch case, every case has to be matched. If we want to break in a case, if we want to check only one case, then we have to apply the break in every case. If we want to check every case, then in the last we have to apply the break statement, and default is necessary in the break statement. You can write a program of a calculator as well, because in calculator we at a time we need only one type of operator works, arithmetic operator or subtraction or division or modulus. If I summarize this lecture, in this lecture we have done the nested if else statement and concept of switch case as well. So we have done the two same program in switch case as well. The one program we have implemented in the if else statement, the same program we have implemented using the switch case concept. In the next lecture we will study about the loops. So these are the very important concept, loops. Every instruction, every programming required this concept of loop. See, operators, conditional statements and loops, these are the backbone of every programming language. If this concept is not clear to you, then you are not prepared for doing the programming. So these three concepts are very very important, because without this concept you can't write any program. I recommend these engineering books from S. Chand Publishing. If you like this video, do like, subscribe and share, and press the bell icon for future notifications.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.